It's Wednesday, the 18th of June 2025, and today I had my third radiotherapy treatment at UCH. I I'm feeling very tired. It wasn't. It was a bit of a difficult day today, to tell the truth. Um, I feel that the pain in my left shoulder is starting to be affected by the radiotherapy. I think I can feel there's a bit more information there, but also just being kind of positioned around and having to stay very still. It's just been very painful, and the morphine that I've been taking is not really helping anymore. And yeah, so it's quite painful, and I've had to. I mean, the one thing that's helped is having ice. That's been a really good thing. That has just helped keep everything, I don't know, a bit cooler and I don't know, easier to deal with. The radiographers today were lovely. They were just, I don't know, they were just nice, happy people, and kind of celebrating when they got things spot on, and it was funny. And I realised that sometimes I find, this machinery around you can make you feel a little bit alienated. So they're kind of like the way they work together so nicely, um, kind of humanized things for me, and it was really appreciated, and it was nice to let them know that positive effect they had on my experience. It was really nice to tell them as well. I think that yeah, yeah, it's starting to get tired. It's very hot in London at the moment. Um, and one of the things that I experienced today was, now, I don't know if you have this experience sometimes when, oh, I don't know, certain support that you ask for kind of gets deflected a bit, and and I don't know, there's some type of gatekeeping happening that like a barrier that you come across. And sometimes it can feel a little bit like gaslighting. It can feel a little bit like, oh, they're having this, let's manage patient expectations. And, and the way that it's done sometimes makes it's just unpleasant, and it's quite defensive. And it just feels really, it's just not very nice being the other side of it, because I think there's different ways of dealing with the limitations of a service that is still being true and authentic and supportive, um, rather than feeling like actually what you're saying doesn't actually make sense, and you you kind of feel like, well, I know they're saying to do something that doesn't work, and they kind of know it doesn't work as well. And yeah, it's just not a nice feeling. So basically, I went to ask for some extra support for the pain that I was experiencing and the symptoms of the pain relief I'm taking. That it's just really uncomfortable, like the bloating and the constipation. It's a real nightmare, and I think you don't fully understand how awful it is until you actually go through it. And when you ask for support, when you're got terminal cancer and you're feeling really unwell and in pain, and you're going through radiotherapy, you don't want to have that experience of the barriers that are put up when I guess there's gaps in the service provision in the NHS. So yeah, that was a little bit annoying. I don't really take it personally, um, but I feel it in a very human way, and it's quite upsetting, especially when I think it's actually not necessary. So, I was asking for extra support around the pain relief and things like that. And I was told to go back to my own community, because I'm in Derbyshire now rather than London, to go to, that's the responsibility of your community nursing team. And I know, no, they don't do anything like that. They tell me to go to the GP, and the GP doesn't know anything about pain relief and cancer care at all. And just things that they say to do, I know already that's it doesn't work. So it's like, feels like a deflection. And it was interesting because, I went through that little bit of an experience today. It starts off with the nurse going to the doctor and saying something and coming back and saying the doctor says this, and then you say something in response and they take it, and it's like, no, I actually would like to see the doctor myself and to go through what's happening directly with them. So that's one thing that's quite annoying. And when I did talk to the doctor, she was quite defensive, and it's like, and the thing is, it makes you feel like you are being unreasonable, or you don't deserve what it is that you're asking for, or you're being awkward. When, no, I know I'm not. I'm in pain and I'm feeling unwell, and I'm halfway through my radiotherapy and I'm asking for extra support. And in the end, all the information that I kind of need, I was given to me in the end anyway. So why don't you just give me that information in a nice way, and be quite clear about what the limitations are without, I don't know, gaslighting a little bit and making me feel really uncomfortable and upset. So I forget, because I've got a fantastic oncologist, and we're just very straight up and honest with each other, and we go through things and discuss them. And I'm like, my nurse specialist is again brilliant, and we go through things and work things out. And then occasionally I come across practitioners who, I don't know, have got used to being a little bit negative and into this managing expectations thing, and actually it's not necessary. And I think that a little bit, I had that experience of, when we think about health inequalities, I just feel like someone who was upper class or middle class, who was white, maybe male, wouldn't have been treated in the same way, with the same kind of attitude that came across in that kind of defensive negativity. And yeah, and it did get me a little bit, it got me upset, and it got me a little bit angry actually when I thought about it. I'm really lucky because I wrote about it, I'll be vlogging, so it just enables me to unpick things and think about why do I feel the way I did. Because when I came out of my radiotherapy session and going into the kind of like the review team space asking for support, I came out feeling a bit depressed actually. And even though the radiographers were brilliant, and I had actually good experience despite all the pain, why did I come out of the hospital feeling really low? And then I was able to think about this and think about this gatekeeping and the way people, practitioners, manage expectations. And it's just such a horrible experience for a person to go through when they're ill and not feeling great. And it's like you have to put your battle armor on and go into battle. I don't need that. I really don't. And I think it's that experience you get. Sometimes you feel very, very lucky. You get a fantastic experience at service like I have had, but every now and again you encounter that gap, and the people who are not so good at dealing with you, and it kind of is a bit shocking again to remember what actually generally it's like in the NHS service as a black woman. Just anyway, it was good because I was able to write about it, I've been able to think about it, I've been able to process it and talk to my brother about it because he came and we had a chat and good discussion, and that's brilliant. So I'm all right. So, roll on day 4 and let's see how things go. I mean, I've had a lovely time in London because I've had quite a few of my friends come and visit me up in Tottenham Court Road, and being able to chat with them and talk to them and kind of explore where I am at the moment, which is not a bad place because my chemo has been put off for another 3 months. So I'm in a really good place, to be honest. So I'm okay. I guess you're just always a bit vulnerable when you're really unwell and having this scary treatment and the pain's kind of like escalating a bit. Yeah, it makes you very vulnerable. And I need to do a bit of self-care and make sure that I'm all right. And I am. I did, and I am, and I'm fine. Okay? I shall clock in again tomorrow.